All right, we're on hole number 16 of the Voyager tournament. Let's go take a look at what hole number 16's got to offer for us. Using Golf Clash Notebook. Oh, this is the hole. You know, what we all need to do is develop a shot from over here. The problem over here is that it's that in between. You got to really get that combination of side spin, top spin, backspin, so that you can make it over this sand but stick on the green and not roll off into this sand. So I see a lot of people hitting in this sand, they don't quite make it, and I see a lot of people hitting over, but they didn't have quite enough backspin and they end up in the sand down here, and it's tough to make sand shots. You know, it's not that you can't make them, but that's not, I would rather make a rough shot than a sand shot. The other way to go is to come down here, and the farther you get out down here, the clearer shot that you have to the green. This is a nice mid-range Hornet, so you're going to be a mid-club, mid-range Thorn. For me, I'm just comfortable hitting through these trees. I hit through these trees all the time. I end up a lot in the rough. I do end up out here on the fringe, but I make this shot about 60% of the time, so I'm just comfortable doing that. I know it seems risky hitting through the trees, and about 1 in 100 times you do get caught behind a tree and you are in trouble. But I do make this shot more often than not. So we're going to hit through the trees. I'm not recommending that you hit through the trees. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. This is one of those holes you have to shoot what you're comfortable with. And on most of these holes, I would say not hitting through the trees is the way to go. But for whatever reason, the way that the geometry works and the openings that are in the trees here, this is one of those rare holes where you can actually hit through the trees and end up in a pretty good spot. So where our opponent's out here, you know, you gotta gauge that, and I would use a bigger ball if he's gonna try this. I mean, this is why you save your good balls, is for holes like this in tournaments. He didn't do himself any favors by doing the good out there, but I think he's, see, in the sand. .7, so we're about a ring and a little shy of a ring and a half. We're not going to do anything super special here. Oh, that was the worst shot I could have possibly had. That was like a 4-ring grate. I'm going to end up in the sand. Whew. Just barely missed that. All right, I can live with that shot. There's a gap in those trees there where the ball runs really low, so if you can hit it into that gap, it'll slide right out from underneath of those trees and it'll end up out on the fringe or really close to the fringe. But if you hit a great ball to the left, you take the big risk of ending up in that sand. So I got extremely lucky that I didn't end up in the sand there. And we got an eagle on this the first time through. And let's see if we can duplicate that. See what backspin does to us here. Now the hole tends to drop to the right. There's so much slope here that we're going to start off just a little bit to the left and let the slope of the course bring it back down to the hole. Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was so bad. That's all right. We picked it up one time through. I really like to get that twice, both times. got out of sequence there. Normally I hit on the third time by. I like to hit from the left to the right. And I wasn't quite set, so I let it go through one more time. I was on the 5th time through. And it just lags just a little. The needle goes a little bit farther, so your timing's off. I know a lot of people like to hit only from the right to the left. I like to hit putts typically from the right to the left, but I like to hit my other shots from the left to the right. If I'm really short on time, I will hit it on the 2nd time by. And if I'm using one of the lower level clubs where the needle doesn't move as fast, I'll hit it on the 1st time by. But usually on one of those setup shots, like with my sand, I like to hit it on the 9th or 11th time by. But that's all personal preference. That's the thing about this game, is we all have our own little quirks. Alright, that was hole number 16 of the Voyager tournament, Rookie Division. Thanks for watching.